When I was 9 years old, I lost my father. He was in a decline before he passed away. He was an alcoholic, he was very violent, and he taught me a lot of bad behaviours, very aggressive. I got kicked out many times.
Yeah.
And then I ended up getting permanently excluded when I was 10, a year after that. My mother seen an advert in the newspaper for helping naughty children. They're going to do a documentary where we get the naughtiest kids in England, we put them in a classroom together, crazy concept, yeah. When I first went to jail as 19.
Listen as your day unfolds, challenge what your future holds, try to keep your head up to the sky. Lovers, they may cause you tears, go ahead, release your fears, stand up and be counted, don't be sure.
Hello guys, welcome to the Next Level podcast with me, Gareth Collins. Here with my guest, Tom. We are here to pass on our wisdom, our experiences, and exercises that's helped us level up. Beautiful. Thank you for coming, Tom.
Thank you for having me, guys. Really
My
appreciate it.
absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
This guy was on a TV program. I didn't know this until quite after when I met him. He was on a child's TV program and for like naughty children, and it really touched me to find out that as he's such well-educated, focused person to what he was as a child.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm all about the underdog story and the comeback. So tell me a bit about that, Tom.
Yeah, so when I was 9 years old, I lost my father. And my father was in a decline before he passed away. He was an alcoholic, he was very violent, and he taught me a lot of bad behaviors, very aggressive. So after he passed, that sent me in a downward spiral. I didn't know how to control myself. Being so young, I didn't know what was wrong with me. All I knew was I had a lot of pain and a lot of anger in my mind. And this led me to be very misbehaved in school. I got kicked out many times.
Yeah.
And then I ended up getting permanently excluded when I was 10, a year after my dad died. So after I got permanently excluded, I went to another school, and my mother seen an advert in the newspaper for helping naughty children. They're going to do a documentary where we get the naughtiest kids in England, we put them in a classroom together, crazy concept, with a teacher called Mr. Drew, who'd done a TV show previously called Educating Essex. I did the TV show, and they wanted to reform me, change the way I thought, and it did work to some degree. And after the TV show was aired, when I was 12 years of age, I got invited onto Good Morning Britain.
Okay.
And on Good Morning Britain, they labelled me Britain's naughtiest kid. Okay. I don't know where they got the scoreboard from, but I'll take that. I'll take that. And a little bit of an unfair, harsh thing to call a 12-year-old who's just lost his dad. But it is what it is. The name stuck with me. And now that I am in the position I'm in today, it's good for people who also had similar struggles to me, who didn't quite get understood as a kid, to realize, okay, you can come back from that. You can be successful.
Certainly.
Yeah.
So tell me about that. How did it influence you having that brand over your head?
Okay. So I believe that if we're told something over and over again, we're going to believe it, which means that my belief system at the time, not only from the programming my dad gave me, but the way I was treated by everybody else, you're the Britain's naughtiest kid, you're Britain's naughtiest kid, Britain's naughtiest kid, that reaffirmed to me, okay, I'm a bad kid.
Yeah.
So because my belief system was that way, I acted in alignment with that,
Yes.
which means that I'd attract results such as getting kicked out, fighting in school as a result of that belief system. So I'd say the only way being labeled that influenced me was my self-concept and my self-image, meaning I believed there was that, when in reality, I had to just strip down some layers, get rid of some behaviors, and then, the real me came out.
Yes. So it just reminds me of that book that you actually lent me.
Psycho-cybernetics, Maxwell Maltz.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Just can you dive in a little bit more about like the transition? And I know you've you've been to jail,
Mm-hmm.
about that struggle, that epiphany moment that
Mhm.
suddenly, right, I want to make a change now.
Okay, so are you talking about prison or are you talking about from Mr. Drews?
Pardon, sorry.
The prison or Mr. Drews?
Just your upbringing from when you said you was labelled
Mhm.
naughtiest child to going to jail
Mhm.
to that transition and that epiphany moment
Mhm.
that changed you.
Yeah, so I don't know if it was one specific moment. The way I like to look at it is if you're at war. Okay, so a war is fought in big battles.
Mm.
And in the big battles, there's small mini battles. Look at D-Day,
Mm.
for example. The Americans stormed the beach, and so did the British,
Mm.
on loads of different parts of the beach. Meaning you've got to win loads of big battles to win the war. So it wasn't necessarily one specific moment, but I'd say there was a lot of things in my life that anchored me, such as meeting successful people, learning about Bob Proctor, learning and reading books that made me realize, okay, this is who Tom wants to become. This is what Tom wants to create for himself. And I'd say, actually, there is one specific moment that made me realize, okay, now I need to do something. And that's when I got locked up in jail at 19 years of age. When I was on the bus from court, going to jail, and I was with all the other lads who had committed these crimes, and they were speaking and they were bragging about the crimes, the stuff that they're doing on the streets, talking the slang. And at that point, I thought, nah, this ain't me. This ain't cool. They think this is funny. I don't think this is funny. No, this ain't me. I need to do something about my situation.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
How old was you then, did you say?
When I first went to jail, I was 19. That was my
19.
first time in jail.
Got it. So leading up all through that moment when you was on the TV program, that was the first
Yeah, that
moment.
was it wasn't the first, because before I went to jail, I was reading self-development books.
So you still had it in you?
I still had it in me, but I was implementing it into the wrong areas. Plus I was being influenced by my environment subconsciously that I didn't know. Plus my network and my 5 closest friends were doing illegal stuff. So I just became a product of that without consciously knowing, okay, you are a product of your environment, which led to behaviors and getting up to no good in rooms that I shouldn't, not I shouldn't be in, that I didn't want to be in, now that I understand where I am now. And yeah, I'd say that when I first went to jail, it was a big moment, because I realized, okay, now I understand I'm a product of environment. How can I make sure that jail serves me and doesn't push me into a negative lifestyle again? And that's when I started to understand my thoughts, because you're in solitary a lot of the time. You are alone, which means you've got a lot of time to reflect. And it also means I've got a lot of time to study, which means I've got a lot of time to replace old beliefs, learn new subjects, and stay and structure my vision of what I want to create when I come out of jail.
Beautiful. So again, looking back, what are some of the philosophies you would pass on to your younger self?
The more pain you go through, the better you'll understand who you want to become. And the reason I say that is because when effort meets resistance, you find out a lot about yourself. And Carl Jung says, the unconscious will rule your life until you make it conscious, or something like that. It's not, I don't know if it's exactly that. I know. The unconscious will rule your life until you make it conscious, and you call it fate.
Yeah.
So when I started to understand that, I understand, okay, just more pain, more effort, just get better.
Say that again.
The more
effort, pain, more effort,
and you'll get better.
Beautiful.
And you'll understand about yourself. I think that's what it is. It's resistance. It's the idea of, okay, for example, sometimes we don't want to wake up early. The idea on paper of waking up early isn't a tough topic, but the emotional connection with the paradigm and the belief system and being tired in a physiological sense, those combined mean you're in a state of resistance. So resistance plus effort equals growth. That's my philosophy. And for anybody who's young out there, anybody who isn't quite up to scratch with who they are, just go through more pain. Go through more pain, do more stuff that makes you uncomfortable. And that's what I'd recommend to anybody. Any young man, and I'm still young, I'm 22 by the way, any man at all, just go through more pain and you'll find out more about yourself and you'll become a better person as a result of it.
How do you sell that pain of, because a lot of people look at it and go, that's no way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like to sell it as like when you go to the gym, you
Mhm.
put your body through pain to grow.
Mhm.
So do the same and appreciate all the obstacles, all the challenges in your life
Mhm.
that you can harness them to build, or you can stay down and let them hold you down.
Okay, so the way I'd sell pain is what you want to do is you want to get on a PowerPoint and you want to write down the life that you want, the life that you're absolutely terrified of living. For example, living at your mum's for the rest of your life, being fat and being broke.
Yes.
Underneath the life that you don't want, you need to write down all the things that are painful in your life, such as learning new skills, sitting down, reading a book, starting the business, going up to that girl and speaking to her, starting that podcast.
Mm.
And you need to realize, unless you do all these things that make you uncomfortable, this is what you are going to be in for the rest of your life. And I think that visual intensity, and I think because we don't want that, we are motivated to move towards it. I think that although we can have vision boards and stuff to stimulate us, if we have something in front of us that we do not want 100%, we're going to act on it, because humans act out of two things: to gain something or the fear of missing out. And I think that if you're not already 100% motivated on what you do want, let's have a look at what you don't want, and then let's see how you behave.
Beautiful. That's a massive gem.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
You're
Tom.
welcome.
Beautiful. So tell me a little bit about like what you do now.
Okay, so at the moment, I have got a online business where I teach young men and men in general. I've got people older than me in the business, where I teach them about just simple self-development stuff. We introduce the trading, we introduce the education for the trading. We've got mentors, we've got public events, we've got live calls in the week, we've got signals, we've got a whole system that supports people to start making money online. So then they've got money to invest back into themselves and other areas of online business, which I highly promote because that's the way the world's going. And I've also got a wine company here in Thailand where I import wine from Australia and sell to 5-star hotels and 5-star restaurants, as well as nightclubs and golf courses.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you, Tom.
Thank
Honestly.
you, guys.
So I met Tom about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
I met Tom about a year and a half ago, and like he's just come on leaps and bounds, and I feel his energy and enthusiasm to develop, and that's the key thing why we like continually to keep contact with each other, because I have that passion as well.
Absolutely.
So that's a beautiful thing. Tell me about some of your most challenging times of your life.
I'd say moving to Thailand,
Yeah.
to be honest,
Yeah.
because when I was in England, I was in a state of survival, which means that obviously on the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, I didn't even have my basics. Do you know what I mean? I had shelter and I had very basic stuff, but I had this dream that I was going to come to Thailand. I was walking on the beach with a coconut, everyone's smiling, life's amazing.
Yeah.
And I think that once I fulfilled that drive vacuum of what I wanted to do all my life, I wanted to come to Thailand, become a Muay Thai fighter.
Yeah.
Once I fulfilled that drive vacuum, I really experienced pain because there was just this black hole then. Because then you had, once you fulfill your drive vacuum, such as getting rich or achieving a specific goal that you just held on a pedestal, you're sort of lost with where do I go next? So you have to go down to come up, essentially. And I'd say that moving to Thailand and the year that's just gone, 2024, was probably the hardest year of my life.
Really?
Because I fulfilled what I wanted. But I'm very good at putting on a brave face. I mean, I've been to jail. You know, I've had all this stuff going on in my life that I'm used to it now.
Yeah.
But I'd say from a pain standpoint, last year was incredibly tough, I'd say. Because I fulfilled that drive vacuum of coming to Thailand and becoming a fighter and starting businesses and whatnot, yeah.
What are some of the things that helped you overcome?
Work.
Work.
There's only one thing you can do, in my opinion, when you're down, and that's work. Because at the end of the year, your how you did the year is not gonna show up in one emotion, but it will show up in work rate. And you're either gonna be proud of the year that you did or you're not. And it all starts with the mini battles, which is how do you work on an hourly basis? Because it adds up. I'm doing a team call for my team today called the Brotherhood Call, and I just teach them all the basics, such as compound interest upon habits. You spend 3 hours scrolling social media every single day. That's 2.6 hour work hours in the week. If you do that in a year, it's 126 working days a year. If you just scroll 3 hours social media every day. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that back to my original point, the way I handle stress and pain and depression is just work rate, just to increase the work rate.
So basically you directing your focus into what you want to do and work, rather than focusing on the problem.
Because when you look at what you don't want, such as the vision board of, okay, my mum in a council house, my sisters having to go and work until the day they die, I'm like, okay, so it's not even about my feelings anymore. This mission and this vision is bigger than me. And I think that once I stopped being selfish and making it about what I want in my life, even though I guess financially freeing my mum and buying my sister's houses and making sure my niece goes to private school and all these, great things, still technically it's me being selfish because I want that for them. But it takes away me gaining because I gain from gratitude, not material. They gain from both then. And I think that once you just step back and be like, okay, so the vision is now them. And I do this with my team. My team's goals become my goals. And sometimes I'm a little bit more invested in their goals than they are. And it conflicts because I'm like, what's going on? Do you know what I mean? And when you don't make it about you anymore, you make it about the bigger picture of serving others, it does help because you're like, okay, well, actually in the grand scheme of things, how I feel right now isn't important. Their goals are important and the life that I'm trying to help them create is more important than me feeling a little bit sad today. Yeah.
And it sounds like you've got a higher purpose.
Yeah.
You've created a higher purpose, the new emotions.
I'd say so, yeah. Yeah.
So what are the top 5 attributes that makes a successful person?
Patience, discipline, consistency, maturity, and faith.
Go through a perfect day for you, Tom.
Okay. So wake up at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Drink 2 liters of water.
Okay.
Leaves me at 5:10. From 5:10 to 5:30, stretching.
Yeah.
And then after 5:30, straight into work. I want to do 4.5 hours of work, which leaves me to 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. depending on what day it is. If it's on a Sunday, my Sunday's my perfect day. But if it's on a weekday, it's 3 hours of work, straight to Muay Thai. Muay Thai, 8 till 10, and then 10 till 11, get home, showered, have a steak, refuel the body, meditate a little bit, calm myself down. 11 till 3, work. 3:30, I want to do my cardio. And then at 4 p.m. till 6 p.m., I want to do my Muay Thai. 6 p.m. till 6:30 p.m. sauna, ice bath. Then from 7 p.m. after I've been home, got showered and changed, have some dinner, do my team calls, get people started. That's my ideal day. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Just sacrifice,
yeah,
pain, a lot of work, a lot of physical work as well. Because that stretches your mind. And I think that once your mind is stretched, it never goes back to its original size. Meaning if you can show yourself that you can take on massive amounts of responsibility and pain, the idea of it itself is more painful than the experience, which means that if I say to somebody, okay, so I'm going to be training 5 hours a day for the next 6 days, that's 30 hours of training. If you say that to somebody, it's going to be like, damn. But if you just go through it and just don't give up, you get to the end of the week, you're going to be like, fuck, that was hard. But it wasn't as hard as I thought.
What are the top 5 most important self-development exercises for yourself that have had the most impact in your life?
In terms of self-development exercises, it's physical exercise, which is learning how to fight, going to the gym, journaling, not for the sake of what did I do today, but what did I do well today? What didn't I do well today? So journaling, people call it journaling. I call it self-analysis.
Yes.
The other one is gratitude,
Yeah.
because we can get so caught up in what we want that we forget to appreciate what we do have. For example, I was in a bad mood the other day because I only made £550 in one day. And I was just really, really pissed off walking down the street thinking, I haven't hit my goal today. What am I doing? Am I even on the right track? Is this business going to work?
Yeah.
But then I walked past somebody who was begging on the floor who had no legs. And I thought to myself, what am I going on about? And I think the gratitude just brings you back to, okay, actually life isn't so bad. Because when you're chasing dreams and you're chasing a vision, you do forget where you are. And I think that the Science of Getting Rich, chapter 7, it speaks about gratitude. And my mentors before pressed me heavily, read that every morning. I don't read it every morning because I understand what it is. And I do practice it now unconsciously. But gratitude, so we got what we've done. We got gratitude, physical exercise, self-analysis.
Journaling.
Yeah, self-analysis.
Sorry.
Clean diet. That's a self-development exercise. The reason for that is because your body is a cellular structure.
Yeah.
And the only way for your body to physically grow is through what you consume, what you eat and what you drink. And in systems, you get out what you put in.
Yes.
So when it comes to diet, the way your body looks is a physical representation to all the decisions that you're making of what you're putting in your body, essentially. And it just doesn't just go down to, the foods that you eat. It's the oils that you cook your food with. It's the amount of times you basically eat shit. And I think it's just a good exercise because if you can't control what you put in your mouth, what else? You can't control anything. Let's have it right.
Totally. And also like your relationship with yourself, what you're feeding yourself, shows you the level of care you have for your body and your system.
Absolutely.
Now, if you're doing things that lower your self-esteem, how much you care about yourself, you're not looking after yourself. So it's going to, you fighting a losing battle with the relationship with yourself.
Yeah, because you can't, the subconscious mind records everything. Every single thing that you do, your subconscious knows about it. And every single time you say you're going to stick to this diet and you self-sabotage, your self-confidence, self-belief, self-respect, self-discipline decreases.
Totally.
Because your mind, you can't lie to yourself. You can give yourself all the affirmations that you want, but if you keep going back to old ways, you're going to lose confidence over time. And it's, I've experienced that, it's because I'm so harsh on myself. At times I go to the shop and I get 21 steaks for the week. It's an expensive diet.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, I could do with chicken fried rice.
Yeah.
And I have that chicken fried rice and I'm eating it thinking I'm a scumbag.
Yes. Totally.
And I'm like, I'm just like, all I'm doing is eating chicken fried rice. Like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
And then, but it's because I'm so relentless in the pursuit of excellence that is the thoughts that go through my brain. Like I'm eating a chicken fried rice and I'm starting to hate myself for eating it. I'm like, well, then again, I haven't consumed any carbs. All right, Tom, chill out.
Yeah.
So
deep down, you're sabotaging your higher self.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. So how do you like inspire others that consistently live in their lower state to rise up and to start looking after themselves and to start following their dreams?
Okay, so one thing that I do, the type of leader that I am is I'm just brutally truthful. So I give them inspiration by letting them know what happens if they don't do it.
Oh, okay.
So I say, okay, so what is it you want in life? Okay, what's stopping you from achieving it? What's going to happen if you don't do it? And then basically I gather what they don't want and I say, okay, so you don't want to go and start that new business, which means that you're not going to have money to buy the house for your mum that you wanted. Is that correct? So this is you saying that you don't want to buy your mum house. And then logically they're like, okay, I should start the business. And they go through with it. So they sort of inspire themselves because I'm not here to people please. I'm here to help people win. And I'm not here to play fun and games with all smiley positive thinking. Yeah. I'm saying you either fucking want it or you don't. Sometimes they need that realization because the subconscious is stronger than the conscious mind. I get it. It's years of belief systems, years of programming and experiences. I get it. But let me just bring it to your conscious attention to get you back on track so you can start reprogramming your mind to focus on what you really want, which is to buy your mum that house, financially free her so she doesn't have to work in Tesco's no more. And that's the way that's the type of leader I am because I don't want people to necessarily like me. I want people to respect me and win.
Yes.
And sometimes positive thinking will only take you so far. Sometimes you need to be slapped in the face with the truth to get up and have a go.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, so run through like the worst 5 attributes that hold people down in their lower state.
Lying to yourself about saying you're going to do something and then not doing it
Mm.
is the first one. It's the worst thing you can do.
Mm. So it's like not being in sync with the person that you're saying you're going to be.
Yeah. The second thing is not breaking down your goals into actionable steps
Yeah.
with time elapsement and knowing what you need to do to become the person. I don't believe that we achieve goals. I believe that we achieve characters who can achieve goals, meaning that, okay, so you can't wake up in the morning, but you want 6 figures a month. Okay, think again, mate. And it's not the fact that they can't wake up in the morning, because they could wake up in the middle of the day if they had a disgusting work ethic and worked all night.
Yeah.
But because they can't even wake up in the morning and just set that discipline in place because they've told themselves they're going to do it, they need to understand that your mind is a universal mechanism. And if you take shortcuts here, it's going to show up. It's going to show up. It doesn't matter where you are in life. Your mind is a universal mechanism. It's one, the subconscious and the conscious mind. And if you start taking shortcuts or thinking, okay, I'll just have that one, or I'll do this, it's going to show up in other areas of life. So you want to basically structure your day in terms of, daily wins, weekly wins, monthly wins, because it compounds. Okay. And you want to reverse engineer your goal. For example, if my goal is to do 1,000 press ups this month, I'm going to do 33 press ups every day. I know my metrics. I know the numbers. The third thing is adding habits before removing old ones. A lot of people are like, okay, so I'm going to add this habit. I'm going to add this habit. I'm going to add this habit. But I'm like, okay, but what about these habits that need removing? A lot of people don't put emphasis on what they need to stop doing, because if they just simply stopped self-sabotaging, stop smoking, stop drinking alcohol every weekend, stop chasing girls. I'm talking about men, by the way. Stop chasing girls, stop skipping workouts, stop spending money unproductively, stop scrolling social media, stop gossiping, stop going out with friends and smoking weed, stop procrastinating. If they just stopped all those things, then they've got time.
Why don't you think most of the world puts pen to paper and plans out like what you like to-dos? Right, I shouldn't be doing this. Right, that's made me feel like that. Tomorrow this is what I need to do. Why can't people give themselves 10-15 minutes of the day to plan rather than watching Netflix or anything that's not serving them?
It's a good question, and my answer to that is because the 1% will always remain the 1%. Successful people, there's always been a difference between successful people and poor people at the end of the day. And there's a book, I think you might have read it, Outwitting the Devil. And he speaks about drifters. Okay, so basically, if you don't know what Outwitting the Devil is, Napoleon Hill has a conversation with the devil, and he tries to understand, why do the poor people behave differently to the rich people? And it's because they're drifters. Okay. And the devil circulates the mind and drifts them away from their goals, gets them moving towards propaganda, vices, all the things that don't serve them. Whereas the successful people follow God. Let's just say they follow God in this example, which is abundance, planning, prosperity, consistency, discipline, patience, faith. So I think that the reason why people don't do it, it could be the devil. It could just be the human psychology behind the path of least resistance, which is what we're all programmed to follow actually at the moment, to what we are now at the moment in time. But I'd say the reason why people don't do that is because the 1% will always remain the 1% at the end of the day. And, I think that a lot of people don't know what they want.
Totally.
But to find out what you want, you just find out what you don't want and do the opposite. Because there's always an opposite to everything, an equal and exact opposite.
That's one thing that that stuck out, is what you just said about what you don't want.
Yeah,
that's a great thing. And a lot of it is the focus and the comfort zone, what they're comfortable with doing, and like stopping doing the comfortable thing. And being more attracted to the things that do challenge you and push you. Totally. Totally. So what are some of the other philosophies, Tom, that have like really made a big impact in your life?
I'd say one thing that we are told is everything happens for a reason and it's all going to be okay. And I
Mm.
think that I used to follow that advice until my mentor, Charlie Morgan, said on a video, that's just cope.
Just what cope? How to cope?
Cope. It's
Yeah.
just, if you say, oh, everything's going to work out fine the way I want it, and God's got this amazing plan for me, and the reason why I crashed my car today is because God wants me to have this amazing life at the end of it.
Yeah.
I think that's just cope.
Well, you're sort of like brushing it under the table. Everything's happened for a reason. Yeah, there is a reason.
Cause and effect.
What is the reason?
Yeah.
What is the reason? Not just everything's happened for a reason. Let's be blasé about it.
Yeah.
Let's sweep it under the rug. What is that reason?
It's cause and effect. I think that a lot of people use the fact that everything's going to be okay, or everything happens for a reason, or God's got this massive grand plan for me and he's pulling me through all this to get to where I need to be because he's got this massive palace for me. I think that's a load of bullshit. I think they say that because it's cope. And a lot of people speak about the law of attraction. I see you've got your law of attraction book here, but if you don't fucking work relentlessly and disgustingly and have this incredible work ethic and be willing to unlearn habits, relearn old ones, change and audit your belief system, change your circle, invest into mentors, read books, buy programs, start businesses. If you're not willing to do that, this book don't mean nothing.
No.
Because the universe does not give you what you don't deserve.
Actions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actions. The law of attract action.
Ah.
It's in front of you.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So visualize the person that was in jail or was going to jail or was just come out of jail. What things would you pass on to them to
So people who are currently in that position now?
To take them to that next level of life.
First of all, nobody cares about your problems and no one's coming to save you. So you either get on track or you be a number for the rest of your life in the system and go back to jail and keep committing crimes. The second one is every single spare penny that you've got, invest it into your education and invest it into spending time with people who have got better results than you. If that means being mentored by them or going for dinners with successful people. The third thing I tell them is be patient. Don't expect guaranteed results for the first 3 years. I wouldn't say I'm lucky. I am where I am because I work for it. But don't expect results for the first 3 years of sacrifice and suffering, because anybody who's in jail is in jail for a reason. It's because of the actions that led them there. I know people are, oh, it wasn't my fault, or wrong place, wrong time. You're there for a reason.
Not taking responsibility.
Yeah. And the moment when I said there as well, no one's coming to save you in that. Like no one's coming to save you, and nobody cares if you just go off and do your thing for the rest of your life. And I'm not saying that to hurt their feelings. I'm doing that because that's how people think. I don't care about them if they want to go back to jail. I do care about them if they want to work on themselves and develop themselves. But if they show me through action that they don't actually want to develop themselves, I'll just let them carry on. So I watch people's feet, not their mouth, because actions speak louder than words at the end of the day. And I pulled myself out of it, and I know what it took. And unless somebody's willing to do that, I'll tell them, say, look, if you carry on this, the trajectory that you're on, look at a graph of the time scale that you're on now, you're going to end up back in this situation. You might not see it. You might not understand it, but just listen to my consciousness right now. Listen to my point of view. I've been where you've been and I've escaped that reality. I've escaped the system. So just take what I did so you can come away from it, because your belief system, which is what I think it's down to, is the belief system about, oh, if I hang around with people, it's not that deep. Or if I do this and smoke weed all day, every day, oh, it's not that deep. I'm just enjoying my 20s. Like, mindset. I think the biggest thing is just auditing their belief system, but that comes from them doing it, not me. There's only so many times I can tell somebody, stop smoking weed and focus on your goals and dreams for once. And there's nothing against people who smoke weed, but that's just an example. If people I've worked with in the past, they're lazy because they're smoking weed all the time, which means not everybody who smokes weed is lazy, but the people I've worked with are. And unless I say to them, well, okay, sweet, your mum's going to be poor for the rest of your life. Because you can't stop smoking weed and work on a business and focus for 6 hours a day.
I hear you. So tell me about the lifestyle in Thailand compared to where you've come from.
Okay, so I grew up on a council estate, and I grew up in a council house with loads of dogs and my sisters and my mum. And It's cold in England. I got involved in a lot of crime in my teenage years, and 16 onwards, a lot of partying, a lot of drinking, never drugs, just
Yeah.
partying, a lot of fighting. And since I've been in Thailand, it's just been work, self-development, work, self-development. And it's just simple as that. In Thailand, you've got two options: party, enjoy it, be on holiday, or this is a place to lock in. You've got incredible dietary options. You've got Muay Thai gyms. You've got the beaches for all of your spiritual purposes, meditation, swimming, going in the water and praying in the water, or whatever it is to you. Thailand's just a fantastic place to lock in and just focus on your goals and dreams for a couple of years, because the cost of living is incredibly cheap compared to England. I say to sometimes my Thai girlfriend, in England, we can earn, £500 a day in a job. My brother earns £500 a day because of the qualifications he's got. That's 20,000 more a day. Now, even in England, that won't get you as far as it will in Thailand. I think that once you get to £2,000 a month or $2,500 a month in Thailand, you're literally living like a person who's financially free as in England. I think that's the equivalent. Yeah.
I'm with you.
I appreciate the overall paradigm of Thai people, which is service and happiness. A lot of them are just buzzing with life, very good at serving others, and fair. I think they're quite fair people. And I think that because you're on that frequency and because that's what your environment is, you radiate that. They radiate that onto you and you radiate it onto other people.
Yeah.
So I'd say one of the biggest things that I love about the country is how just beautiful the country is in terms of the people. You've got the landscapes, you've got the ocean, you've got the wildlife, you've got the culture, you've got the Muay Thai. It's just funny as well. I mean, you'll be driving down the street and you'll see a truck with 20 people in the back and they're all like, hey,
Yeah.
like, hey,
Yeah, such a great atmosphere.
Yeah.
So, projecting into the future, Tom? What if you had a magic wand? Okay. What is your most grandiose idea?
So
grandiose goal you would like to accomplish?
So what I'm going to create over these next 10 years, I'm going to build the biggest self-development platform, universal to anybody who wants to achieve their goals and dreams. I'm going to do this by finding out what they want, why they want it, how to track metrics, how to have a to-do list, how to have a habit tracker, because we achieve characters and not goals, which means that if I want to do this, the goal is becoming an individual who can lead 10,000 people and speak to 10 different thousand people's paradigms at one time to get them to move in one direction. And that takes vision. That takes faith in a goal and dream. And it will happen because that's what I'm going to create. And what I'm going through right now, I mean, my Generation I free chat has already got 1,000 people into 10% of the way there.
Nice.
And I think that it takes I'm doing it for them. Yes, I'm going to reap financial reward. I'm going to be a bit of a G. I'm going to be rich, powerful. But if I wasn't that, they wouldn't listen to me. If I'm not going to become that, why should they listen to me?
Totally.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm becoming that version of me to help them. Look what you can achieve if you just lock in. Don't even put a time on it. Just lock in. Because if you put a time on it, you're either going to be, you might even be early, you might be late, and you've all of a sudden you've got this bad expectation that I was supposed to do it in 6 months. It took me 11 months.
Yeah.
So just say, lock away the time and just be relentless as much as possible.
How do you keep that relentlessness and that high enthusiasm?
I think a lot of it comes from where I came from, to be honest, and what I'm scared of becoming if I don't do this. Like, I cannot fathom living in my mum's house ever again. I can't fathom being poor ever again. Even now, I'm at a point where, like, okay, if I don't do at least £5,000 this month, I'm panicking. Do you know what I mean? I'm like stressing about that. That for me is like, it's because I'm scared, to be honest. I'm very scared of being a loser.
Yeah, so not reaching anywhere near your potential.
Yeah, because I know that if I don't do this for the lads, if I don't do this for the kid at home who's living with his mum, who doesn't have any money, who's depressed, who's anxious, who's got loads of bad habits, if I don't do that, I don't think anybody else will. I don't think anybody is willing to do what I'm going to do for them. A lot of people do it for themselves. A lot of people become successful because I want my Lambo. I want a big house, but I want to become successful so you can have the big house so I can teach you how I did it.
Massively. It sounds like you're teaching and inspiring the older version of yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're doing it for the older you.
Absolutely.
That could have gone down, that did go down the track that you didn't want to. Yeah, great story.
And I think as well, because I've got that story, it's like, well, why not listen to him?
Totally.
3 years ago, he was in prison cell. Now he's in Thailand. He's got a personal team of almost 90 people that he helps develop, make money online. He's traveling the world. He lives in a villa. He trains Muay Thai. He fights. He can help people. He's got a proven concept of developing people beforehand. And he also comes from this background, which means I've got the USP, the unique selling point, which is the story. And I haven't seen any, other than Wes Watson, I haven't seen any other lads in the self-improvement space have that story.
Totally. No, it's an absolutely great story, Tom. Is there anything else you'd like to get into before we get into a meditation? Yes, Tom, we'll get into a meditation. That's what we do here.
Okay.
That's what we do.
Is there anything else?
Is there anything else that you'd like to pass on? Also, where can people find you and how can they work with you?
So reach out to me on Instagram, Tom Roberts Official. People who want to work with me, not everybody's allowed to work with me. I want to protect the energy in the team, which means you've got to have some sort of drive. You've got to show me some sort of vision that you want to create for yourself and your family if I let you in the team. Because I've done this before. I've taught people to make $1,000 a day through trading, through the system that I've got. And they've went and blown it on FIFA coins, Fortnite points, cocaine, beer, Tenerife.
Yeah.
That's not me helping that person. That's not me helping you. If I teach you to do that, that's not me helping you. I want to see you want to develop yourself, want to be successful, and most importantly, never go backwards. To help people make a personal development plan, which is absolutely bulletproof, which means that if they follow the plan, they'll never need a job ever again. They'll never need a boss ever again, and they'll never go backwards, which means if I get them to a certain point of income, that will be their baseline income as long as they follow their self-development plan. Yeah.
So what are some of the challenging moments you have when you're mentoring and coaching others?
People wasting my time.
Yeah.
I've got a big team. I've got a big responsibility. And for example, a lot of people say, okay, Tom, I'm really depressed at the moment. I'm in a 9-to-5. I hate my life. I want to move to Thailand. You're living my dream life. Okay, sweet. What we want to do is speak at 2 p.m. And they don't turn up to the call.
Yeah.
I'm just like, you've just told me you hate your life. I'm living your dream life. You're depressed. I've just gave you some of my time for free.
Yeah.
And you're wasting it. That's an instant red flag. I give people 2 chances. You waste my time once, I'm pissed off at you. And I'll slap you with the truth when we get on the call. Don't piss me my time.
Yeah.
The second one, okay, carry on what you're doing. Let's catch up in 12 months and see if your results have changed. 9 times out of 10, they haven't. But when people do, I'm genuinely happy that they have changed. I'm like, yes, good lad. Because it's not about me. It's not about me getting the, I did it for them. It's just about them winning. It's not about Tom help me win. It's about they win. I don't really care about becoming the top dog or becoming a celebrity in that sense. I just want to help them win. I do focus on that. Me becoming in the spotlight is becoming a byproduct of that.
Yeah.
Which isn't intentional, but when you help people win and people are getting what they want, more people look at you. Okay, I want you to work with me. I want you to work with me.
Totally. And your confidence is proven track record.
Yeah.
Totally. Just touch on it again about like people like working in their 9-to-5 jobs and like just not going for their dreams. Like just some. Yeah, just how do you get through to someone?
I don't.
No, you can't.
You can't teach hunger. The 1% will always remain the 1%.
Well, they have to get through to themselves, don't they?
Yeah, like I'm being funny. I mean, if you haven't started thinking, okay, if I don't do something in the next 2 years, this is what I'm on for the next 50. I mean, If that doesn't interest you, I don't want to work with you
Mm.
because I'm like, I'm not going to convince you to financially free your mum. Why would I do that?
Yeah.
Nobody convinced me. Nobody told me to wake up in the morning. Nobody told me to go to the gym. Nobody told me to start the business. I did it all myself.
Mm.
So why am I going to tell somebody who is being lazy? And it's not, I don't look at them differently, but they are different.
Mm.
They're not my niche,
Mm.
not my target market, not my circle. If you want to carry on working in construction in a 9 to 5 and you're happy with that, no problem.
Yeah.
If you're not happy with that and you want to achieve things, go and speak to people who are achieving things. Otherwise, if you don't, you'll work on a building site until the day that you die. Your body will be fucked. And when your body's fucked, you won't be able to work anymore on a construction site, which means no more money's going to be coming in. Your wife's probably going to leave you. Your
Mm.
kids are going to be looking at, my dad's not a leader.
Mm.
You're going to be poor. Like it's just a massive ripple effect. And this is what I'm scared of.
You have to project into your future.
Yeah. And like,
visualize how you don't, as you Tom's saying, how you don't want your future to be. Visualize how, if you start putting in the steps to build the life that you came here to build.
Yeah, and it is that, it's simple as that. It's black and white. Unless you actually do something about your life, unless you genuinely take the time to improve your life, change the way you think, the habits that you do, how you look at investing in yourself, the people you hang around with, the things that you eat, unless you genuinely change all of these things, small incremental steps, you are going to live a life of poverty for the rest of your life. And then you're going to be on your deathbed, or you're going to be at some point in life, maybe a little bit older, maybe you're 40 years of age, and you're going to be thinking, I could have done something for my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think
Don't wait until that time comes.
The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. That's what I tell people, especially the older people. I feel like I've wasted a lot of time. I say, look, but you're here now.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Stop looking back. Let's go forward.
Okay, we've got the future ahead of us. I'm going to help you get where you need to be. Trust me. We're going to make you a plan. We're going to get you there. Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, we'll just do a few minutes. Okay, so get comfortable with where
so
you are, Tom.
What do we do here?
Pardon?
What do we do here?
Let's see what I can come up with. Okay. Appreciate and give thanks that we made it here today. Give thanks that we woke up today. Feel the energy in your hands. Feel the energy in your feet. Feel your consciousness in your mind. Give thanks to it. Take 3 deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Inhale all the higher vibrations and exhale all of the lower vibrations. And on the third one, if it's good with you, close your eyes. Give yourself a pat on the back or a high five or a warm embrace for taking this time out of your day to watch this podcast and help promote inspiration inside yourself to gain the knowledge and experience that me and Tom have shared with you. Moving forward to the main part of the practice, paint a picture of your older self and all of the obstacles you had to overcome to become the person you are today. Appreciate all of the challenging moments, all of the lessons you've learned, all of the sacrifices. Give thanks to them all. All of the mindsets that didn't serve you, all of the habits that didn't serve you, visualize yourself letting go of them. Now, in this moment here, appreciate the potential and possibilities you have right now, the health you have. Give thanks to all of your working organs and the level of consciousness you now have. The money that flows to you in abundance, give thanks to it. Your current network of friends, give thanks to them all. Now, paint a picture of your future self and all of the possibilities that lay in front of you. Visualize that grandiose goal that we set for ourselves. Visualize yourself achieving it, and the emotions you will have. All the relationships you are yet to build, and the money that will flow to you in abundance, and all the opportunities. Now recap from the start of the meditation to where we are now, and take with you anything that's really resonated with you. Again, take 3 deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Inhale all of the high vibrations and exhale all of the lower ones. And finally, bring your hands over your eyes, and in your own time, blink your eyes open to reveal the magnificent world we live in. You're very welcome, Tom. Absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much, Tim.
Lovely, Tom. Is there anything else you would like to share with us?
I had a few thoughts then, and I want people to understand that my message, although it's relentless, doesn't mean I'm perfect.
Does what, sorry?
Doesn't mean I'm perfect.
No, not at all.
And if you don't get it right, don't beat yourself up, man. Don't beat yourself up, because although we're humans, we're going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
It's part of life.
Yeah.
But if you're not where you want to be yet, don't wait to be happy.
No.
Don't wait to be happy. Don't wait till you've achieved the goal to have a smile on your face and tell everybody you love them and how proud you are of people. Because we evolve at the end of the day. Somebody watching this, although they might be in the situation, they're living at the mum's, whatever situation you may be in now, 2 years ago, you was dreaming about where you are today. Or you've improved a hell of a lot in those 2 years. I'm good. That's it. Thank you very much.
So one thing that's just struck me about, like, when you said about beating yourself up, when you beat yourself up, you're not accepting the problem. You're holding on to that problem. Imagine a monkey on your back. You're holding on to that problem. Oh, why didn't I do this? Well, I used to beat myself up about not waking up so much, like when I plan to. Do you know what I mean?
But I still do it.
Yeah, I do a little bit, but I let go like rapidly, and I'm like, right, solution. Right, I need to up my game a little bit more because I'm behind today. Do you know what I mean? So the faster you can go to solution, the better.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Absolute pleasure, Tom. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you very much, guys.
Much love.
Thank you, mate.
Much love. Absolute pleasure, man. You're going, man.
Take over.
You go, man. I'm with you, man.
Yeah.
My support is here with you.
Thank you, bro.
man.
I really appreciate
Pleasure.
that. Pleasure.
Much love. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Appreciate it. Love.
Thank you.